top of the morning, and it is a beaut.
And the hope of the Irish as the future champion of the world.
A podcast is kind of like it's like a radio show that's not on the radio.
Welcome to the Barry J. McDonald podcast. The place where dreams get dusted off and acted on. Because life is too short. We're living on a rock that's flying through space, and hey, what the hell else were you going to do with yourself here?
Hi, this is Barry here, and you are very, very welcome to today's podcast episode. Now, the title of this podcast episode probably seems like it's not true, because, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, more love must equal more cash, mustn't it? But I would argue the point that maybe the opposite is truer, because when you look around you right now, you will find people all over the internet looking for love, looking for acceptance, and I'm not talking about the people who are over on those dating sites or maybe some of the weird and wonderful websites that I'm not even aware of, but I'm talking about the people who are on social media today. The people who are posting content on Instagram or Facebook. The real reason they are putting that content out is they're looking for love, they're looking for acceptance, they're looking for a thumbs up, they're looking for a like, they're looking for a wee smiley emoji that, they're a brilliant person. But I found that if you are looking for love on the internet, that chances are good you will probably never be successful because you'll be afraid of rejection. If you took 1,000 selfies of yourself and you picked the best one and you put it on Instagram and somebody put a nasty comment below it, how would that make you feel? If they said you were ugly, or if they said you shouldn't be on Instagram or whatever, or said you were fat or whatever, how would you feel after putting that, putting so much work into getting the perfect selfie? I'm sure you'd be crushed. I'm sure you'd be knocked back. I'm sure your confidence will be knocked down to a lower level. And that, unfortunately, is what's happening on the internet. People are going to the internet looking for love, looking for acceptance, and doing anything they can not to face any rejection or any criticism. So that's what I want to ask you. What is your level of rejection like? Are you someone who is almost bulletproof, that if anyone says that to you, it doesn't register with you at all? Or are you someone who just takes it all to heart? If you wrote a book and somebody left you a negative review on that book, would you stew over that bad review for the next couple of weeks? Disregarding maybe the 100 positive reviews on your book, but you're just focused solely on that one poor review. Or if somebody put a nasty comment under a Facebook post, or just somebody said something nasty to you, maybe in an email or something like that, how would it affect you? Would it just, kick the legs out from under you and make you feel less about yourself? Now, what I found, on the internet and from reading a lot recently about, a lot of successful people, the people I found that are the most successful are the people who don't pay attention to criticism. They live their life the way they want to live it. They run the business the way it is. If you look even at Apple, for example, when you see Apple bringing a new, laptop or some type of device out, you'll see them sometimes maybe leaving off the USB, ports, or they leave off a hard drive, and a lot of people will give out and say, oh, I'm never buying Apple again because that means now I can't plug my devices into it, and it means now that I haven't got as big a hard drive, and blah blah blah. And you'll find Apple doesn't really care about that. You'll find Apple will still go ahead, make it the way they want to make it. They'll put it on the marketplace because they know people will buy that appliance or that device. So you need to be like that as well too. You need to, maybe grow a thicker skin when it comes to rejection, because when you allow criticism to grab your attention, it will make you it's almost like if you had like a horse and cart. It's almost like, you are happy enough going in the direction you want to go, but as soon as you get some criticism, it's like someone else has jumped onto your cart, has taken the reins from your hand and says to you, no, you're not going this way. I want you to go in the direction that I want you to go. And then if you listen to that criticism and you allow that person to direct you or to say what you should do, you'll find that you will go to places where you will not be happy. And these people that you are probably tiptoeing around right now because you're afraid of, rustling any feathers, or are afraid to, draw attention to yourself or draw criticism to yourself, you're going to find that those people are going to get angry with you no matter what you do. Even if you were Mother Teresa, I'm sure if you went on the internet right now, I'm sure if you typed Mother Teresa into Google, I'm sure you will find some people giving out about her. Some people say that she was in charity, that she wasn't Christian, like maybe because she did this thing or she did that thing, or she ignored this baby and didn't kiss this child, or didn't meet this, didn't shake this person's hand, or she met this diplomat, or whatever it was. I'm sure if you go on the internet, you'll find something even about people like Mother Teresa. So if we can't, be pleased with people like that, well then, why should we put up with any criticism that, people will level at us? So what I would say to you is, is to maybe grow a thicker skin. Again, I'm advising myself here as well too, because a lot of these podcast episodes I'm doing recently, the reason I'm talking about these topics is because these are topics that I need to pay attention to too, because we all fall foul of, somebody saying something nasty and it just kind of, grabbing our attention and distracting us from what we should be focused on. And again, when it comes to criticism, like I said in the podcast before, it's almost like, when you do something good or something nice in your eyes, it's like running to the opposite end of the football pitch and standing in front of the opposing supporters and expecting them to say something nice about you. They're never going to say something nice about you. So you will find the people who are going to slag you off, the people who are going to criticise you, the people who seem so important right now aren't your customers, aren't your audience, and will never pay a penny or will never support you in any endeavour that you do in your life. So why should you pay attention to them? And again, if maybe you're going through a little bit of criticism right now and it's just totally grabbed your attention, I want you maybe just to fast forward on 6 months from now, and I want you to imagine yourself 6 months from now thinking about the criticism you got today. Would you feel as bad about it? Again, if we jump on maybe a year from now, how would you feel about that criticism? 10 years from now, how would you feel about that criticism? I'm sure the further and further away that you have jumped off in time, I'm sure you'll find that criticism is just shrinking down in size. It probably seems huge right now, it probably seems disheartening, it probably seems like the worst thing ever. But in a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, you mightn't even remember this criticism. And this person right now who is maybe puffing their chest out, standing up on their soapbox, declaring that they are the wisest person on the internet and they know this and they know that. At the end of the day, at the end of your career, at the end of your lifetime, that person will have no relevance to you at all. So why are you giving this person any attention? Why are you adding any fuel to the fire? So, what I would say to you today is, again, like me, we need to grow a harder skin, because the people who are successful, they don't really care what other people think about them. They are just walking in the direction they want to walk. They're climbing mountains because that's what they want to do. They're writing books because that is what they want to do. They're doing podcasts, they're on TikTok or whatever because that is what they want to do. So do what you want to do. Stop allowing critics and all those people to grab the reins out of your hand and to distract you and to pull you in the wrong direction and to say, I think you should go in this direction. No. Where do you want to go today? And remember right now, if you are suffering criticism, how are you going to feel about this criticism in 10 years from now? You probably won't even remember it anymore. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
Before you go, Barry would like to give you a free copy of Words to Wealth. In it, he's going to show you 10 ways to make money from writing. Head on over to writecome.com now for your copy. Have a great day and come back soon.